here. Texas at Alabama. Biggest regular season game to me of the year. I don't care if it's a second game or not. I mean, major playoff implications. I picked Texas to make my 4-team final playoff, along with Georgia, Michigan, and USC. And one reason why is because I had this game circled as a win for Texas. So Alabama's favored by 7 points. I'm just not sure that Jalen Milroe is ready for this big stage. MTSU is not Texas. Texas run defense, front seven, matches up with Alabama's big offensive line and their power running game. Both teams consider that a strength, so something's got to give there. Alabama's secondary's improved, but it got a little banged up against MTSU. 2 guys questionable this week, including Malachi Moore and the safety Key for Alabama. I've got Texas. Alabama's my team. Go Ball Sports, we're going to be there. We're going to give you a full rundown of this game, get some good photos and videos for next Wednesday night. We're going to review this game, but I've got Texas, and I'm going to call the score. 34-27. Coach Sharp knows Nick Saban as well as anybody. Saban 28-2 versus former assistants 28-3 make that. The Sark and Texas pulls the upset Saturday night at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Sark knows that's it. That is going to do it.
Live from the DKI Apex Restoration Studios in beautiful Tullahoma, Tennessee. This is Go Ball Sports Season 2, Episode 5. Along with Dave Myers and Ken Keller, I'm Scott Chastain. Welcome in to an exciting hour of sports talk. We've got football, and more football. But first, we want to ask you, if you're watching on Facebook Live tonight, like it, share it, comment on it. If you're watching this replay on YouTube for the rest of the week, be a subscriber for us and share the link. We're spreading the word. Our numbers are going up. That's great. Just keep watching, keep spreading the word. Ken, big week of football. Started Friday night, ended Monday night. Just as shocked leaving the stadium Monday after the game as I was Friday after the game, but we'll get to all that tonight. Right now, we're going to start with college football tonight. We're going to start with Pigs 10.
Well, I said, I bring back the sights and sounds for Go Ball Sports. I was there Saturday, left T-Town at 6 o'clock Saturday morning early after that Friday night football game we had out late Friday night, and boy, the pregame was just unbelievable. We saw SEC Nation down there. Got a nice picture of the SEC Nation bus. Saw Paul Feinbaum, Tim Tebow, the crew down there. So that was exciting. Then headed over to the Quad on game day to hear, see Lee Corso put the helmet gear on. Corso and Herb Street. Just the fan bases of both teams. There was probably about 12 to 15,000 Texas fans there. They were very friendly, very hospitable. After we, hit the ESPN game day at the Quad, we went down to the Strip and had lunch, had some pizza and beverages down there, and befriended some Texas fans, very hospitable. We even got a couple that want us to come down to Austin in 2025. They said, we'll show you how we do it Longhorn style. But, all that led up to the game. Pre-game, we went back over for the Walk of Champions, met Dante Hightower there on the quad and got his autograph. 3-time Super Bowl winner with the New England Patriots from Lewisburg, Tennessee. Played at Marshall County Prep there, and I told him, I said, I sure am glad that you went to Alabama, Dante. And he said, you don't know how close I came to going to Vanderbilt. So he really came close to going to the Vanderbilt Commodores. So all that happened pregame, and then we have the game. And, you know, we were down beside the fence pregame. I think Dave's got a couple videos. Got Jalen Milroe down, you know, warming up with the headphones on pregame. And I said last week that, you know, look, Texas was not MTSU. You know, I saw Jalen Milroe in his start last year against Texas A&M, and Texas A&M lost on the very last play of the game. Milroe had 3 turnovers in the first half of that game. I just was not sold on the quarterback situation for Alabama. He had 2 critical turnovers, Scott, and it really turned the game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And,
you nailed it.
Yeah. So I guess a blind squirrel finds an acorn every now and then.
Yeah,
right?
once in a while.
Yeah, literally.
When I pick underdogs, I don't find a squirrel, but I don't find an acorn. But you did.
Yeah, and you know, in looking at the game, you know, it was just what we said. You know, that big defensive front for Texas. I mean, you know, that front 7 for Texas held Alabama to 3.1 yards per rush for the game. Alabama could not get explosive plays. Texas had 6 plays over 30 yards in the contest, 5 of them in the second half. And especially, you know, the fourth quarter, Texas just pulled away. Alabama got their only lead of the game late in the third quarter, held it for 1 minute and 9 seconds. Texas comes back and scores 3 touchdowns after Alabama takes a 16-13 lead, and they really win it going away. And you know what? Really what I noticed, the new clock rules. If you're behind by 10 points in the last 7 or 8 minutes, you're in trouble because, you know, the first down
runs fast.
Yeah, the clock doesn't stop on first downs or going out of bounds, or runner going out of bounds, only on an incomplete pass until the last 2 minutes. And it sure makes a difference because Texas just really bled the clock out in the end. But, you know, congratulations to Steve Sarkisian. Texas was the more physical team. Alabama did have 2 touchdowns called back in the game. Looked like legit calls when I watched the replay of the game on Monday night. But, hey, what can you say? Texas now in primetime position in the AP poll.
Yeah, they are.
Let's see these 2 flags coming on the field. What do you say?
Yeah, take a look at them. This is pregame, right when the teams come out of the tunnels. You see the horns down.
Haters. Get your finger off your camera there, partner.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, let's go to that AP poll.
Yeah, let's take a look.
I know
at
we've
that
got
AP
a
poll.
picture of that up on our TV, and we'll just transition right into that puppy. Oh, got a little different design.
Oh, I
like
love
that.
it. This is
I
beautiful.
like that.
Isn't this just a beautiful pictorial right here? But before we go to that, you know, one thing that's big with the SEC is, you know, the Dr. Pepper fan zone, really, and Gatorade. They're a big sponsor of the SEC. So I got you guys a little gift I brought back. You know, they hand out these little hand care packages. So for my Gold Ball Sports brethren, I got you guys hooked up, man. You might even want to wear them because they match your shirt perfectly. I got you guys some Gatorade sunglasses, white frames with yellow iridium lenses. Check it out, SEC logo Gatorade on there. Check them out. Here's yours, Big D. Y'all got to put them on during the show right there.
Thank you, my friend.
That's right, man. That's right.
A closer look right here.
That's right. And folks, y'all stand tight because we're going to give away our first prize pack here on Gold Ball Sports in a little bit. I've got one more pair of these beautiful limited edition SEC Gatorade lenses that we're going to hand out to a winner just here in a few minutes, to one of our Facebook Live participants. So,
what do you think?
Oh, yeah, man, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. So, hey, look, Dr. Pepper was there. So,
Dr. Pepper.
I got to pop my doctor. Y'all remember Larry? Y'all
I still miss Larry.
Oh, I miss Larry.
Dr. Pepper? Mm-hmm. All right,
well,
20.
I brought something in. Larry, they handed out Dr. Pepper sweatbands. So I'm going to put on my Larry Dr. Pepper sweatbands. We break this thing down. We're going to start a new a new addition to our AP Top 25 called Truth or Consequences. So, Scott, what I'm going to ask you to do here is we place Truth or Consequences. I've got a cup here, a magic cup. Now, I'm going to be a magician here, football forecast magician. I'm going to pull it back here. There's got some numbers in this cup, and I'm just going to ask you to pull out a number, just one at a time. Just pull the first one out and see what number corresponds with what team, and let's see if it's truth or consequences for that team tonight.
Number 4.
Perfect. That's how I wanted to start the show, and that was not rigged right here. You guys start the biggest winner of the week, the Texas Longhorns. Pigskin told y'all last week that they were sitting at number 11, that was too low of a ranking for the Texas Longhorns. They move up the biggest jumper, 7 spots in prime contention right now for the college football playoff picture, which I picked Georgia, Michigan, Texas, and USC as my teams. One team has crashed the party, and that's the Florida State Seminoles. They move up a spot to number 3 based on their big win over LSU 2 weeks ago. Texas takes out Alabama 34-24. So, truth. They are the truth. Sark, Quinn Ewers, that Texas defense, they're poised to make a run at the college football playoff. The Longhorns are the truth, Scott.
18.
18. Big variance there. Oh, perfect. The Colorado Buffaloes. Man, you're pulling them out in perfect order. Colorado Buffaloes. Coach Prime does it again. How about them Colorado Buffaloes and Shedeur Sanders? That man, that quarterback, the coach's son, is now a prime name being mentioned for the Heisman Trophy. An impressive win for the Colorado Buffaloes on Saturday. They move up 4 spots from 22 to 18. Right now, after 2 weeks, the Colorado Buffaloes are the truth. They've got a matchup next week, September 23rd. But don't look ahead, Colorado, with the Oregon Ducks at Oregon next week. That's going to be a big Pac-12 matchup next week. But for right now, the Buffaloes and Deion Sanders are truth.
Number 9. Number 9.
Notre Dame is the truth. A big win there for Sam Hartman, Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame. They move up from 10 to 9. Notre Dame 2-0. They are truth right now inside the top 10, and they've got a mammoth matchup next week. Next week, the 23rd of September, Monumental Week, Notre Dame will host the Ohio State Buckeyes. 6 against 9 next week, 13 against 18 next week. Notre Dame, the truth. So we got three truth seekers right now.
When you say next week, you're talking about this week.
No, next week.
Not this week.
Yeah, next week. Next week. They won 45-24 over NC State. Impressive win. They play this week. They play Colorado State, just Colorado. Can't look ahead, these two teams, but next week we'll preview that game and this game as big games of the week.
Texas A&M.
A&M. The reason they don't get a number is they're not in the top 25. Consequences for Jimbo Fisher and the Texas A&M Aggies. They were sitting at 22. I predicted them to win the SEC West and play against the Georgia Bulldogs, and they crashed and crumbled. Consequences for Texas A&M by beginning boat race 48-33 against the Miami Hurricanes. The U is back, but the Aggies are not. They drop out of the top 25, and Texas A&M suffers the consequences, Scott. Who's next?
You know, just when I came on this show and said that I thought this was the year that Texas A&M overrode their propensity to stub their toe, they do it.
Yeah.
Do it again. Unbelievable. 22.
By the way, that big win over Nebraska, Matt Rule and Nebraska Corners did not put up a fight against the Colorado Buffaloes.
I don't know how big a win. I don't know how big a win that was. Nebraska is not very good.
I agree. Who's next?
22.
22, the U. Just talking about the U, a big Tyler Van Dyke 5 touchdown passes against that previously vaunted Texas A&M defense. They win in Coral Gables in boat race. The Texas A&M Aggies knocking them out. So that's 2 impressive wins right now, Scott, for the ACC over the SEC. That's Texas A&M getting pummeled by Miami, and that's Florida State easily handling LSU, outscoring them 31-7 in the second half. So big win over SEC. Miami or Florida State, big win over SEC thus far this season now for Miami.
17,
the Ole Miss Rebels. Top 25 matchup. Lane Kiffin and the Rebels struggled against the Tulane Green Wave. Love Tulane's midfield logo in their uniforms. But Ole Miss sitting 2-0. They are the truth right now. Next week, again, the third big game for the 23rd of September next week is going to be Ole Miss travels to Alabama. We'll see if it's truth or consequence time for Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin.
10.
Number 10, Alabama. Consequences. Nick Saban does not have the staff that he's had in previous years. Kevin Steele, 0 sacks by your defense. Your defensive coordinator, brand new, came in. Everybody griped about Alabama's defensive coordinator. They run him off to Ole Miss. Now you're stuck with Kevin Steele, 0 sacks against the Texas Longhorns. Did not turn the ball over, had several pass interference calls. Consequences for Alabama because they still don't know who the quarterback is. Tyler Buckner has been running first string for Alabama this week. Look for him to take over for Jalen Milroe after only one game of the season this week at South Florida.
11.
Consequences for the Tennessee Vols. They dropped from 9 to 11. That's what happens when you're not impressive against Austin Peay. But was Tennessee holding back the playbook? I think they were. We're really going to find out truth or consequences for the Vols when they head to the Swamp Saturday night for a 7 p.m. showdown against the Florida Gators. So this week they suffer the consequences of a lackluster win, 30-13 over Austin Peay out of Clarksville, Tennessee. The Governors, Tennessee drops 2 spots.
So how much
truth or consequences?
does Tennessee have to stomp Austin Peay by not to suffer consequences?
You'll have to ask the pollsters because Dr. Pepper Larry does not have the answers to that question. I don't have an official
Well, don't
vote.
you think it's odd that a team won and dropped 2 spots?
Yes.
That's pretty odd, isn't it?
And I'm really surprised more Tennessee fans were not griping because, look, I'm looking at this team right here, and I'm looking at this team right here unmoved, unchanged. This team and this team, unchanged. They never played nobody. This team right here, Ball State and UT Martin.
So
nobody.
you play nobody, and you only win by 20,
Yeah.
and you get punished.
And you drop, but these teams win,
That ain't
they
right.
don't change.
That's bullshit right there.
Yeah, so, I mean, so Tennessee suffered the consequences because they dropped 2 spots. So, I guess that's all the
Truth or consequences?
There's one more in here.
No, there's not. They're all in there.
All right, there you go.
All right. Good job.
Beautiful. Thank
Nice
you.
job. All right, let's transition.
Hey, I got now the trivia. I got to throw it in. It's perfect time. Okay. So, truth or consequences.
You know, you could tell us about this stuff before the show.
I did.
We would be more prepared.
Well, it ties in with this, so it's a perfect time. So, we got this Gatorade pair of sunglasses from the Alabama-Texas game we got from SEC Nation and Gatorade. And so here's the question. Facebook Live, the first correct answer gets it right. We just initiated truth or consequences into our top 25, okay? Top 25, Scott, and tell them how they're going to win, okay? This is the question, and you tell them what they need to do to win. Dave, you're the judge on
Me
who comes
tell
in
them
first.
what they need to do to win.
Either one of them.
It's your doggone.
You're showcasing
It's
the
your
glasses.
prize.
If you
I don't
win,
know
you get a
anything
pair
about
today, just like Scott's got on here. Okay, here's the question. Truth or consequences is a real exit because it's a real city in the United States of America. Tell us here on Go Ball Sports, what state is the city Truth or Consequences located in? The first Facebook Live responder that gets the right state answer wins the sunglasses.
Dave will let us know when that happens.
Let us know.
All right, let's go straight to Pigskin's losers.
South Carolina at #1 Georgia. The Cocks travel to Athens, where they face the Dogs between the hedges. Georgia has been feasting on cupcakes and will find their rival Roosters are trained for fighting. South Carolina will battle, but fall short in Kirby's Dog Pound. Pigskin loser, South Carolina. Number 11 Tennessee at Florida. The Riflemen avoided being peed on by the Governors last week. Now they trek to Gainesville. where they have not won in 20 years. Coach Napier's Swamp Lizards don't have the sharp teeth that Steve Spurrier's did, and the Volunteers go crocodile hunting Saturday night. Pigskins loser, Florida. Colorado State at Colorado. Coach Dion's Buffaloes have stampeded Cornhuskers and Horned Frogs already. Now they have their sights on the Rams. Shedeur Sanders, prime son, is a bona fide candidate in the Heisman conversation. Pigskins loser, Colorado State. Number 10 Alabama at South Florida. A wounded pachyderm is a dangerous animal, and the Crimson Elephants will arrive to Tampa in a bad mood after getting hooked by the horns. Coach Nick Saban's game plan to avoid another upset is simple. Don't mess with the Bulls or you will get the horns. And he does not want that to happen a second straight week. Pigskins loser, the Bulls. Pigskins other losers. Boston College will lose to Florida State. The Golden Gophers lose to North Carolina. The Golden Hurricane lose to Oklahoma. And the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech loses to Ole Miss. Well, football brethren, get ready for some upsets, but don't smash your TV in if your favorite team loses. I'll be back next week on Go Ball Sports with more Pigskins losers.
All right, congratulations to Karen Freeze, listening from Pennsylvania. Karen Freeze says, Truth or Consequences is in New Mexico. Of course it is. So congratulations, Karen. Kim will figure out how to get you your pair of SEC Dr. Pepper glasses.
Way to go, Karen.
Right here. Good job. Good job. Appreciate the interaction, folks. Appreciate the interaction. All right, let's go to the podium, shall we? Told you that I didn't know who my podium participants were, and I meant it. but you know, this trusty little device is mighty handy. All right, I'll start first, and I'll give out a bronze trophy to the Franklin County Rebels. You know, they came into Wilkins Stadium a decided underdog, and even though they had physically, I think, won the game heading into the fourth quarter, on the scoreboard they weren't. But credit, all credit goes to their offense. They drove 73 yards in 9 minutes and 20 seconds to score the winning touchdown with a minute to go, pull off an upset of Tullahoma. Franklin County now tied for first in Region 5, 5A. The bronze medal goes to the Rebels. Yours?
Good pick, yeah. From the game Saturday night, Texas, Alabama. Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. He played spectacular last year in Austin in that near upset, that 19-17 loss, but he finished the deal. 349 yards passing. He stood in the pocket, was not really pressured by Alabama, but delivered the ball on target all night long. 349 passing yards, Quinn Ewers. And look, if you look at this was not just a ragtag quarterback that beat Alabama. This guy was rated the Max Preps highest rated quarterback by their Spark scores in the last 20 years. He got the perfect 100 score. Did Quinn Ewers. I think he's going to have a good NFL career. And Texas showed, Scott, they are ready for the SEC, but is the SEC ready for Texas?
Well, Alabama's not. That was easy.
Yeah,
he
there you go.
He opened that wide open. I just had to walk through.
Yeah, so look at this list right here. You got Quinn Ewers at 1 with a perfect score. You got Bryce Young, 2, Trevor Lawrence, starting out with the Jaguars. Number 4, who is that at 4? Arch Manning. So right after Ewers goes out of Texas, they're going to have Arch Manning, but those are some of the guys. But look at the top of the list. Quinn Ewers. Some of those guys were duds. Mac Barkley did not have successful pro careers. The jury's still out on Mr. Ewers, but Arch Manning waits in the wings for Texas. Sark has said at quarterback for the Longhorns. Interesting list there.
Jimmy Clausen, give me a break. That shows you what that list is worth. Jimmy Clausen was number 10. All right, silver medal. Dave, I think we got a video for this one.
We did.
Let's do it.
Mamba forever. Of course, he was very close to Kobe Bryant, that was his nickname. They meant a lot to each other.
Novak Djokovic, all right? His 25th Grand Slam title. One of the greatest tennis players of all time wins the U.S. Open. And you know what's ironic about that? Is for the last 2 years, he hasn't been allowed to enter the United States to play in the U.S. Open because he wouldn't take the COVID vaccine. So this guy has become my freaking #1 all-time tennis hero. How's that for sticking it in our face? You ban me for 2 years because I won't take that stupid, worthless vaccine, and then when you do let me in, I come in and win the U.S. Open. I love it. Silver, Djokovic, awesome. Love it.
Oh, man, you got to get a Dr. Pepper fist bump on that. Dr. Fiacci ain't going to like what you had to say there about that, but hey. All right, my silver tonight, silver medal on the podium, Season 2, Episode 5. The Big D is back in Dallas. We had somebody from Pennsylvania win our prize earlier of our sunglasses. Hey, Philadelphia Eagles, take notice. The Dallas Cowboys just shut out the New York Giants 40-0. Most impressive defensive performance of Week 1 in the NFL. Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles, Philly, the Cowboys are coming for you this year. Beware. Big D is back. The Big D is back. The Dallas Cowboys defense is back, and they're dominating. Largest Week 1 shutout since 1999 by that Pokes defense. Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, and company. The silver helmets with the blue stars back, folks.
Special teams help Dallas a lot. You know, doggone it if they're not important. The more you notice them, the more important they get.
America's team.
Yeah, right. Gold medal. Just show it, man. It's obvious for me. There could only be one gold medal winner this week.
Sam Martin corrals the snap. It's a short punt. Gibson on the return. Near side. I don't see any flags. Gibson inside the 30. Hits the Jets. And he's going to go. Jets win it. Touchdown. Rookie Xavier Gibson. Game over. We made some moves with Chaz Surratt out in front of him delivering the key block. Martin couldn't bring him down.
Gibson, the game-winning return for the New York Jets. What a great win. I mean, it's terrible what happened to Aaron Rodgers. And, you know, as lovers of sports, I mean, we hate to see that. It was just almost unbelievable. I think America was just in shock for a minute. But on the anniversary of 9/11 in New York City, the Jets win it at the end with a punt return. Xavier Gibson, he was so humble and everything after it was over. You get my gold medal tonight. Congratulations.
Folks, you need to pay attention to our prognostications. Some of them come true. Scott picked his team, the Jets, to upset Buffalo. And so, you know, Josh Allen, what? 4 turnovers, man.
He's getting worse every game.
And his body language after the game and that interview after the game didn't bode really too well for him either. But how about at the 4th play of the game, Rodgers goes down with Zach Wilson. They win the game. So great win for the Jets. Congrats to you and the Jets. So we have 2 gold ball winners tonight. And as far as I know, we gold medal winners tonight here at the podium. I don't think we've ever duplicated our gold medals here in 2 years of shows. So mine is, it's 2 a time. It was 2 a time in the NFL on Sunday. I said this would be the best football game of the weekend, and I think it was. The Miami Dolphins beat the Chargers 36-34, and Tua went off 466 passing yards. For Tua Tagovailoa, he's overcome so much, a fractured hip, while at Alabama, the concussions. The 3rd largest opening game performance, yardage-wise, in NFL history since the merger only behind Tom Brady, 517 yards. Fellow former Miami Dolphin great Dan Marino, 473 yards. Third at 466. Tyreek caught 215 of those 466. Watch out, folks. When Tua is healthy, he can sling it as good as anybody in the NFL. Beware the Miami Dolphins. Congrats to all our medal winners tonight on the podium here.
Absolutely. Yeah. When Tua is healthy. Isn't that the key phrase there?
Yeah.
All right. Let's flip it to pro football. It's time for Dave's Dandy Dozen.
I'm gonna wear these shades. Don't at me. All right, we're gonna go through the power rankings in week 1. No, heading into week 2. I'm out of my mind right now. Not a lot of sleep. So I have a new entrance at number 12. Welcome the Baltimore Ravens. We're gonna welcome this team. Let me adjust the camera. There we go. Baltimore and Lamar finally make GBS power rankings at number 12. Lamar in the new scheme, well, they looked a bit underwhelming, but one bright spot stood out, and that was rookie Zay Flowers, who racked up almost 80 yards receiving on 9 receptions when the tight end went to the sideline with an injury. So, welcome and congrats to the Baltimore Ravens. At number 11, staying the same, is the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers faced a great Dolphins team, lost by only 2 points, and arguably, well, not arguably, I believe it was the best game of opening week. Herbert performed well. Eckler had a great game as well as a host of Chargers wide receivers. The Chargers will rebound from this loss, but I do have concern on LA's secondary. Gentlemen, when Tyreek Hill reaches 150 yards receiving, you do everything in your power to say that guy's not going to get any more yards. Seemed like the Chargers didn't do that, and he picked up 65 more yards on top of that, which any other receiver, that'd be a good game. At number 10, new one into this list as well. And don't hate me, I'm just giving you who played great games this week. The Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb had a game. 106 yards rushing, and we didn't really see the full potential of Watson, Moore, and Amari Cooper. Now let's talk about the defense, but I'm going to switch from players. I'm going to give a big, huge congrats to defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, who held Burrow to just 82 yards passing. He blitzed Burrow 53% of the snaps in the first half and held Joey to 2.6 yards per attempt. Not 26, that'd be fantastic. 2.6 yards per attempt. That was his lowest average in a half in his career. Kudos to Jim and the Browns, and may the Schwartz be with you. At number 9, the Detroit Lions, and they move up a spot from 10 last week. The Lions headed into Arrowhead last Thursday, and Goff led a talented Lions team to a victory against the, as we all know, top-ranked Chiefs. I don't care if Mahomes was missing Kelsey and Chris Jones. He still had targets and a defense that couldn't contain these 4 factors. Let me give you those 4 factors. Detroit Lions come in at number 10. They have a 2-headed running back monster. They're going to try to this year with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. 4 players that I have to watch, and I'm going to lump one into the quarterback trio of Bridgewater, Goff, and Hendon Hooker. Jahmyr Gibbs is another one. I certainly believe that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to have a breakout year at wide receiver, and Aiden Hutchinson is another guy to watch. Had a top 5 offensive ranking last year, and it only got better. I believe. So, I'm not going to say I'm a genius, but Goff outplayed Mahomes. The running back duo worked. St. Brown had a great game, and Aiden Hutchinson, if you didn't watch the game, was all over Mahomes. So, congrats to the Detroit Lions. At number 8, dropping 4 spots, are the Buffalo Bills. Stephon Diggs had a decent game with 102 yards and a touchdown. Now that we got the pluses out of the way, The Bills traveled to play the Jets, but their football ability stayed in Buffalo, including Josh Allen, who had 236 yards, 3 interceptions, was sacked 5 times and had a rating of 62.7. Enough said about the stank Bills. New York Jets move into number 7, moving up 2 spots from number 9. Of course, the loss of Aaron Rodgers with a torn Achilles is a massive loss to the Jets, and the reason that I didn't put them higher was because I do believe that Zach Wilson played a great game. It takes time to discover if he's going to be a great quarterback or not. Let's look at what is left. Zach Wilson, 14 of 21 for 140 yards and a touchdown. Breece Hall had 127 yards receiving. Great game. Garrett Wilson, let's see if I can cue this guy up, had this catch.
Garrett Wilson, wow! What a catch! Touchdown, Jets! Right hand out there, and then concentrate and reel it in.
So that was the Jets, but the biggest play, obviously, was the gold medal from Scott, came from Xavier Gipson on that punt return. Congrats to the Jets for moving into spot number 7. At number 6, the Jacksonville Jaguars move up 2 spots from number 8. The Jags faced a tough Colts team on Sunday. Saw Trevor Lawrence go 24 of 32 with 241 yards and 2 touchdowns. Travis Etienne run for almost 80 yards and a touchdown, but I'm more excited for the resurgence of 2 players in their 5th season in the NFL. Number 1 is Josh Allen, who had 3 sacks on the game, and Calvin Ridley with 101 yards receiving and a touchdown. These Jacksonville Jaguars look tough, y'all, and they're only going to get better as the season continues. Moving into number 5 is arguably the most disappointing team in the NFL during Week 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. For as little credit as we give the Chiefs in their loss to the Lions are a legitimate threat this year. And even though the Chiefs didn't pull in the W, Patty still had 226 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 45 yards rushing. It also saw a solid choice for more Mahomes passes and rookie Rashee Rice, who I mentioned in episode 3. Rashee had a great preseason game, week 3 of the preseason, with 9 receptions for almost 100 yards. Rashee Rice is one guy you're going to need to look out for, and another target for old Mahomes. At number 4, jumping 3 spots this week, are the Dallas Cowboys. While CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard both had decent weeks, it was this Cowboys defense that won this game. The 1-2 punch of Stephen Gilmore and Trevon Diggs give them the best backfield they've had in years. Cowboys sacked Daniel Jones 7 times and held him to 104 yards passing. Now, I did say the name Daniel Jones, so don't take that to heart, while holding the Giants to a big old goose egg. At number 3, moving up 3 spots as well, are the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins, if they stay healthy, can be a legitimate contender to make it to the Super Bowl this year. Mark my words. Mark them. What minute is it? Mark them. They only went to the Chargers' house and left a huge stain on their carpet. Not only did their D look decent, but we saw Jalen Waddle's 78 yards receiving get completely overshadowed by Tyreek Hill's 215 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. Oh, yeah, the Tua guy that y'all were talking about, he also had an okay game with 466 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. These Dolphins are dangerous, y'all. Moving up 1 spot from number 3 are the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the only team from the previous ranking that stayed in my top 3. No, the win was not impressive, but you can't write off Hurts and the Eagles' ability. And you can't downplay this Patriots team. Mac Jones actually played a good game, but the Eagles were just better, and that's why they moved up. And the Patriots aren't even on the list. At number 1, I know y'all are wondering, the team I haven't mentioned yet moved up 4 spots, the San Francisco 49ers. Look, I know enough not to expect a ton out of the Steelers this year, but they didn't play an awful game against these 49ers. But y'all, I'm believing in this team's massive bank account. Let's see if I got, no, I don't have a picture there. You can look at the numbers. They have 5 of the highest paid players in the NFL on their team, and then another 4 second highest paid players in the league. This team has mashed out some cash for these big names, and it's showing. I'm believing in this team. Purdy ended up with 220 yards and 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey had 152 yards rushing and a touchdown on the ground. And the D had 5 sacks and 2 interceptions against the Steelers. So that is Dave's Dandy Dozen. Back to y'all.
Nice, boy. 49ers.
Yeah,
they look loaded.
Dangerous.
Yeah, they got, Brock Purdy hurt his arm, in that championship game last year against, that UCL injury, same as Otani. But he's back and healthy. Purdy, he was pretty good. But for all the talk in the offseason about how strong the AFC was and how good the quarterbacks was, and Dave's Dandy Dozen, 3 of the top 4 teams this week are NFC teams. He had the 49ers 1, the Eagles 2, and the Cowboys 3rd, with the Dolphins the highest AFC team. Interesting on your list, your top 2 teams from the preseason poll you had, Kansas City and the Bengals, both lose. The NFL's about parity, Scott. But I tell you, watch out for the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Niners. They may win a Super Bowl this year. The NFC may win a Super Bowl this year. Just saying. We'll see what happens.
Ken, I did have
1 week.
I did have an image up that didn't actually show, and it was that Brock Purdy had a better rating than Mahomes, Burrow, I believe one more. Yeah. But he was one of the highest rated. I believe in this 49ers team. I think they're going to do great.
And really, what about it's an NFL, it's a quarterback-driven league. The disastrous performances by Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, to me, those were unexpected in week 1.
Joe Burrow didn't do much in the preseason. All right, let's transition. It's time for the participation trophy. Mr. Keller.
Gold Ball Sports, where participation trophies simply don't cut it.
Let's shine this trophy up. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the highest paid dud head coach in college football. Dave, cue the video up.
Yeah, the ball they clapped. Well, they simulated our snap count, and our guys heard the clap, and they snapped the ball. We had a whole play we had to play, like a goal line play, and what happened, the ball got snapped early because they simulated the snap count and clapped their hands and snapped the ball.
Slap Pap. You got beat 48-33, and you want to come to your post-game press conference, Jimbo Fisher of Texas A&M. You just got walloped by 15 points. And you're griping about the Miami Hurricanes on defense simulating a snap count on a 2-point conversion attempt. Absolutely ridiculous. Disappointing performance by A&M. Jimbo, you and your Aggies suffered the consequences. We pointed that on the AP. You're out of the top 25, and you received my participation trophy this week for making excuses for your loss when you got blown out by the Miami Hurricanes.
Good one. Does the vitriol ever end with Jimbo? Not till he's at Sam Houston State.
I mean, right? It's like every week he wins the participation by one of us. Every week is all, he goes back
That's
and forth.
That's about true. Well, my participation trophy tonight, I'm going to flip it. And I didn't ask Dave to get him video or anything like that. I started out with the Chargers defense, but the Dolphins were just awesome, and the Chargers defense did what they could. But after Sunday night, how could it be anybody but the Giants defense? My God. I mean, the New York Giants, what have they been doing for a month? They certainly haven't been playing football, because that was the worst performance of the weekend by the New York Giants. Oh, by the way, the Community High School Vikings defense gets a little mention, because a Cascade running back by the last name of Lavorne carried the ball 19 times for 273 yards and 6 touchdowns in the first half against Community. So Cascade running back Lavorne kind of keep your eye on that in future weeks. But New York Giants defense, you get my participation trophy today. All right, let's quickly go to high school football because we're going to shorten this up quite a bit because these guys.
You got a new leading. I love it. Here you go, bro.
You know, Ken has just been laughing the whole program. I'm not sure what he did.
I love
beforehand.
the new show editions.
All right, high school football scoreboard. And we're going to go through this really quick, okay? Because these guys have taken all my time with all their important information.
Don't worry about the clock.
So scoreboard, my stomach worries about the clock, homie. Scoreboard from last week, we won't touch on much. I told you Siegel was going to put Coffee County down. This was a surprise. Rockville beat Stewart's Creek. That was a surprise. I picked Stewart's Creek to win that game. Rockville won it. Franklin County over Tullahoma, a little surprise here. I want you to look at these three Region 5-5A games. They were decided by a total of 5 points. So 1 point win, 2 point win for Shelbyville, 2 point win for Lincoln County, 5 total points. Region 5-5A is a mess, and anybody can win it. All right. Giles County puts Lawrence County back where it should be. Look here, Marion County stays undefeated. They beat Fayetteville. Grundy County, you're fixing to see them in a poll. They're 3-0. I've been doing this for 50 years. I can never remember Grundy County being 3-0. And Moore County, another big win, 40-0 over Wayne County. Let's go to the poll.
Let's do that.
After week 4 of high school football, keep in mind, man, this is the halfway point this weekend. Halfway point of high school football. Collinwood comes in. They beat Eagleville. They used to be ranked. Collinwood jumps in. Sequatchie County fell. They played South Pittsburgh. We knew they would fall, but not too embarrassing of a score here, so Sequatchie stays in. Forest jumps back in. They beat Cannon County. It's not a big win, but they're 3-1 right here. You've never seen, I've been doing this poll for a long time. You've never seen Grundy County in it. Have they played anybody yet? No, but they're 3-0. Congratulations. Marshall County jumps back in. They're in region play. We remember these guys. They beat Greenbrier 37-0. Shelbyville moves up via their 29-27 win over Columbia. Oakland beats Antioch 49-0. They stay at 4. Your top 3 stay the same. Well, not the same. Sequatchie County was up here. Siegel moves up, beat Coffee County. Marion County, Mountain, 4-0. They beat Fayetteville. Who plays this week? Marion County, Sequatchie County. And in Moore County, 4-0. That's okay. Moore County, 4-0. They stay at number 1. The Blue Raiders are tough. All right, this week, coming up this week, you got a classic Murfreesboro battle, Blackman at Oakland. Blackman's not shown much this year. Oakland will blow them out. Coffee County, no chance against Page. This one might be interesting. I like Riverdale to beat Rockville, though. Looking down here, James Lawson, a first-year school, but they're 3-1, so I don't think Spring Hill does it there. Columbia, I believe, we'll pick some games in a bit. I do like Columbia to go to Lawrence County and win. Shelbyville steps out of the district. We're going to pick this one right here in a minute. Franklin County at Moore County. Marshall County goes to White House. That's another region game. White House has joined that region. I talked about this mountain game here. We're going to pick this one, Sequatchie County at Marion County. And that's about it for what's coming up this week on the high school football schedule. Tullahoma will take on Lincoln County, 7 o'clock at Meadows Thompson Stadium in Fayetteville, Tennessee.
Well, I do have one quick clip for you. We can talk about this just briefly because the loss to Franklin County was pretty disheartening. But I do have a clip that you and Ken talked about on air. So if I can, just play that.
So this was the game Friday night. This was the audio from Scott and I calling the Tullahoma-Franklin County game Friday night, correct?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Denby's down to the 5.
Great effort.
Good heads-up play by Mason Bratcher.
Sure was.
But it's 4th down.
And Denby, that's hard running after that. He was smelling that end zone.
4th and goal for the Wildcats at the Franklin County 5-yard line. You taking the points here, boss? Or you going
I'm taking the field goal to make it a two-score game here. Up 6, you want to be up 9 here. Take the 3.
Tullahoma's going for it. 4th down and goal at the 5. 4:25 left to go, 3rd quarter. Bratcher rolls right. Bratcher looks into the end zone, incomplete, over the head of the intended receiver. And Tullahoma turns the ball over on downs. You don't like that, do you, boss?
No, with the score. Yeah, so a lot of emphasis was put on that play in the 3rd quarter. Tullahoma was up 16-10, had a chance to go up 19-10 there. A lot of people want to blame the whole game on one play. But in that same series prior to that play, just a few plays earlier, Tullahoma dropped a perfect pass in the end zone, which would have put them up possibly 23-10 and ball game over. So as it was, Tullahoma had a 52-yard field goal with the buzzer against the wind that was long enough, just pulled just a little bit left, unfortunately. But you got to give Franklin County credit. They came in with a good game plan, and C.J. Seals played a heck of a game at quarterback, very accurate with the football for the Rebels as they beat Tullahoma 17-16.
Eric Jones was basically unstoppable for Tullahoma. It's looking to me like if the Wildcats can't totally dominate on special teams, I'm not sure how many games we're going to win this year because that's our strength. Dave, you got anything to add here, brother? Let's go to Golden Games. Golden Games. All right, this is where we each pick a winner in these games. It's a pretty fast segment. Listen quickly. Sequatchie County at Marion County. This mountain battle has been going on for 100 years. This is a hate matchup. This is Tullahoma Coffee County matchup. Golly, I'm being attacked. Sequatchie County at Marion County. 2 ranked teams in the South Central Tennessee High School football poll. I like Marion County to hold off Sequatchie County this week. Ken?
Yeah, Marion County.
Dave?
I'm not in on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Franklin County at Moore County. We've got a 5A school coming off their biggest win in 5 years, traveling down to a 1A school that is undefeated and ranked number 1 in the South Central Tennessee High School football poll. How could little old Moore County possibly stay with big old Franklin County? Well, they will. They'll not only stay with them, they'll win this game by 2 touchdowns or more. I like Moore County.
Wow. After seeing the Rebels live last week, their offensive line is humongous. I think they're going to create some problems, some running lanes for Eric Jones. And I like the balance on offense for Tracy Hayward's Franklin County Rebels, the ability to pass the ball and run it. I think Franklin County pulls out a close one.
Tullahoma at Lincoln County. The Falcons have not shown much. My inside source tells me they have lost their 2 top running backs, will not play in this game. Tullahoma coming off such a disappointing loss. I expect the Wildcats to be just a little pissed off and to go to Fayetteville to the pit and hand the Falcons a 21-point loss.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tullahoma rolls this one up in the pit. They show some offensive explosion this week, and they finally open it up and they win big.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at some college games. We're going to pick 3 college games real quick here. The first one, South Carolina at Georgia. We're into SEC play now. SEC East matchup, Georgia favored by 27 points. Look, I think that's way too many points. I don't care if South Carolina's offensive line is terrible. They do have Spencer Rattler. That game will be closer than that, but Georgia wins in Athens.
I try not to put these kind of games on my pick list. Who's going to pick South Carolina here? Anybody in America, the world, anybody watching? Got the Gamecocks even? I don't think so. Georgia by what they want to do.
All right, LSU at Mississippi State. This game a little bit more even, although LSU comes in a 9-point favorite on the road against Mississippi State. Mississippi State is the one team that's getting disrespected, in my opinion. They're still not in the top 25. They're unbeaten. They just got through beating Arizona in overtime. I think Will Rogers causes some problems for that LSU secondary. I think Mississippi State pulls the upset in Starkville. Cowboys bells are ringing. Mississippi State beats LSU and gives Brian Kelly their second loss.
And I don't think it's that big of an upset. I plan to be wearing my Mississippi State shirt next week. I'm taking the Bulldogs. Hey, look, Franklin County, Moore County.
Oh, now the big one really for this week. Tennessee at Florida. Tennessee has not won in the Swamp in 20 years. 2003 was the last time. But Steve Spurrier is not with the Gators. Tim Tebow
Danny Werfel is not walking
Danny
in.
Werfel's not. Ike Hilliard, all these guys are no longer there. Eric Rhett, forget it.
Jabbar
Tennessee's
Daphne.
going to run the ball all over Florida. I think they dominate the lines of scrimmage, and I think it's going to be really tough for Florida to score points against Tennessee's defense. I like Tennessee to win this one easily, over a touchdown. They cover.
Jalen Wright averaging like 9.2 yards a carry or something. Tennessee's running game looks strong. Joe Milton's going to settle down. Vol fans, just as Aaron Rodgers would say, RELAX. It was one game against a bad team. You could tell Tennessee, no preparation for Austin Peay, zero. They spent the week on Florida. It's going to pay off this week, the Vols.
All right, so I'm going to take you to the NFL now. I'm going to move this camera again. Ugh. Get your position right, Dave. All right, the first game I got are the Chiefs traveling into the Jaguars. That's Sunday at noon on CBS. I have the Jaguars upsetting the Chiefs. I don't think that Mahomes looked too good. I know that Chris Jones finally signed his one-year extension, and I believe Kelsey will be ready for this game. However, I believe that loss to the Lions took some wind out of their sails, and I just think that the Jaguars play better. I'm going to call a score of 28-24. What do y'all think?
I think this is the down year for the Chiefs. I do. I like Jacksonville right here. It'll be shocking for Kansas City to be 0-2. Kelsey's much more worried about Taylor Swift than he is Sunshine, so I like the Jags.
I would love to see the Chiefs go 0-2. They do have their tight end coming back this week, Kelsey, and they play Thursday, so they got a couple extra days rest. I think that's beneficial. In big games like this, Kansas City gets off the mat. They win by field goal at Jacksonville.
All right, next game I got are the 49ers traveling to the Rams. That's on Sunday at 3:05 on Fox, and I believe this 49ers team is going to keep their streak up. They're just too dangerous this year. I believe they're going to win 31-20. What do y'all think?
I don't think the Rams score that much. I do like the 49ers to win.
Yeah, you know, the Rams, big upset over Seattle in week one was impressive, but the 49ers win over the Steelers even more impressive. I like Brock Purdy and the Niners defense to go 2-0.
All right, I got two more games. We'll go through them quick so we can get 2-minute warning. I got the Jets coming in to Dallas. Y'all, both these defenses are pretty tough. But I believe the Dallas Cowboys defense is going to outmatch the Jets defense. However, this was the closest game I had to call this week, and I don't think they're going to score much. I think the score is going to be Cowboys 17 and the Jets 14.
I'm sorry, but the bubble has burst in New York, okay? It was all about Aaron Rodgers. He's not home. I'm taking Dallas. The Jets are about to go pew.
The Cowboys are going to win this game, go 2-0. And, you know, the Big D is going to show up again. I predict the Jets will not score over 10 points in this game. Dallas wins.
Last game I got, and this is it's a pretty big no-brainer for me. The Chargers travel into Tennessee, go to Nissan Stadium on Sunday. Game is at 12, and it's on CBS, or you can just drive an hour and a half down the road. Y'all, this is not even going to be close. I think the Chargers win by at least 2 touchdowns. I'm not even sure the Titans will score anything but a couple field goals on this one.
Yeah, you know, their quarterback is done. Over the hill. Derrick Henry, he gets the ball 15 times in a game. That's just ridiculous. It's not the Titans formula, never has been, won't be as long as he's there. It wasn't there when Chris Johnson was there. You know, it's been the same formula for a long time. They don't have that formula unless they give Derrick Henry the ball 30 times. I don't see that happening. I like the Chargers to win it.
Look, I've griped about the Titans the last couple of years, the way they've used Derrick Henry. They use him on first and second down, pull him off the field on third downs, throw that guy 5 or 6 screen passes a game. He had a 65-yard screen pass catch. They don't go back to him on that play the rest of the game. Leave the guy on the field. He's the best player, one of the best players, top 10 player in the NFL. San Diego is going to outscore the Titans. The Titans will put up a fight. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'll say 31-27 Chargers win.
All right, let's head to a 2-minute warning. What do you say?
Let's do it.
2-minute warning.
All right, I'll start you off. Sure, you might not have been following the 2023 FIBA World Cup in basketball, and probably for a good reason. It's a worldwide competition that takes place every 4 years and pits supposedly top athletes from each country's pro leagues for a world title. It's founded in 1950, surprisingly. Team USA was beaten by Canada on Sunday to finish 4th. They didn't even medal. But the real story, athletes opting out of extracurricular play in the name of health, wealth, and happiness. Whether it's preseason play, world teams, Olympic teams, etc., it should be an honor to even get an invite to play on a world team, let alone be a storyline of stardom for your country. The roster, oh, I'm so glad you asked. Oh, get ready for these names. Hold your breath. For Tyrese Halliburton, Josh Hart, Austin Reeves, Brandon Ingram, Bobby Portis Jr., Anthony Edwards, Paolo Banchero, Michael Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Walker Kessler. Star-studded. My point, gone are the days of the immortal Dream Team. There's tens of millions of people who'd be dreaming of grabbing a spot on a national team, which used to come with clout and esteem, and now it's an acceptance letter to clown school. Y'all, this is miserable. If you look at soccer players, when they're invited to World Cup teams, they literally break down and cry. It's a great honor, and it used to be for basketball. Now, our basketball team is a laughingstock. What happened to USA and basketball? And I have 10 seconds left. So I'm just going to say these names. You got Patrick Ewing, Magic Johnson, David Robinson, Christian Laettner, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and the list goes on. All right, Ken.
Let's go with that. All right, I want to talk about fandom. Specifically, I want to talk about fair weather fans versus fanatical fans. Look, folks, and this really, I'm speaking to all fan bases, but particularly you Alabama fans that are ready to jump off a ledge after one loss, the second game of the year. That was the first loss Nick Saban's had by double digits at home in 20 years when Florida did it 19-7. So my son and I had the opportunity to meet Bama superfan Willie. He's a internet phenomenon, Instagram, X, Facebook. This guy is crunk. Show a video, Dave. We got 2 videos I want to show you.
Nothing but the Tide. Blitz, Bama, blitz.
Let's go. Roll, Tide, roll. Let's get it. What do you say, Willie?
Don't give a fuck about nothing but the Tide.
So that's Bama Willie. And, man, what a treat that guy. You know, get on the internet, watch his videos. He's a super fan, win or lose. Bama, you've been through some dark days. Mike Price never coached a game. Mike Shula, Dennis Franfoni, Bill Curry, Ray Perkins, been through all of it. But you've also had Bear Bryant and Nick Saban. Enjoy it because the time capsule's running out on Nick Saban at Alabama. Is this his last year? I don't know. But don't give up and quit on your team. Root hard for your team and take a page out of Bama Willie's book.
All right, reset that clock.
Okay, I get you. Sometimes you just don't need the full 2 minutes.
Demario Davis. Let's play the video.
You want me to preach? I'm always soul searching. My goal in life is to be the best human being that I can be. That extends way beyond the football field. I love the game of football because it presents every life lesson that you can ever have. It makes you a better person. It makes you a better husband. It makes you a better father. It makes you a better teammate. It makes you a better coworker. It makes you a better friend. Because just like our situation, being at 2-5, you're going to have stuff that happened to you that you did not expect. Matter of fact, you expected the exact opposite. And what are you going to do when that moment happens? And you have to do your soul searching before that moment happens. Because if you're not prepared when the rain comes, it's too late. And it's certain people that's built for moments like this. And there's certain people that get excited for moments like this. Because when it's dark outside, somebody has to be the hope to remind people that the sun gonna come back out. That's all I got, people.
And Saints, man. This is now one of my favorite football players in the league. He's had multiple press conferences and interview sessions after the game, and he tells a story about his daughter having an epileptic fit on Saturday night and what he went through, or Friday night, and what he went through before that game on Sunday, and then gives an awesome testimony for the Lord. So go out there and search for Demario Davis talking about Jesus. You talking about a 2-minute warning? That's it. All right, that's going to do it for this week. We appreciate you tuning in again. Subscribe, share, follow, all those things you do on social media. We need them. Spread the word. Go Ball Sports, episode 5, season 2 is in the bag. For Dave Myers and Ken Keller, I'm Scott Chastain. Be good to each other.